now live.
Are we officially live?
We are live. Hey.
Wow.
Welcome, everybody. This is Geekydom, and this is our very first broadcast coming to you from the studios of AlienPixel Studios.
AlienPixel Studios.
Very small outfit out here in Burbank. And anyways, we're here to introduce ourselves, and this is the very first video that we're going to do. And my name is Nick DeSema, and this is
Blaise Goba. I'm here as a co-host to help Nick solve some problems here in the virtual reality world.
So, Blaise, why don't you kind of tell people what your background is?
My background? Well, I've been an artist my entire life, and worked both in the theme park design industry as well as feature films, television commercials, toys, even greeting cards. So, you name it. And even video games and stuff, too. So I have quite a weird and wide variety of different things I've done. I've been a sculptor and sculpted toys and collectibles. So, and how about you, Nick? What's your background?
Well, you said you worked for Disney, right?
Yeah, I worked for Walt Disney Imagineering, Walt Disney Animation.
Yeah. So we're both former Imagineers.
Imagineers, yeah.
Starting back in the 80s. Way back in the 1980s.
Yeah, actually, that's right.
Yeah.
Oh, boy!
Was that funny?
Yeah, that was funny.
Okay. Anyways, Blaise and I go farther back. We actually met on the sets of Back to the Future. So
yeah.
But I worked at Imagineering. I worked in the theme park division, and basically became an expert in rock work, doing all the rock work projects. So
yeah.
If you guys are familiar with like Big Thunder Mountains and Splash Mountain and Euro Disneyland and Florida's Magic Kingdom and that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I got myself involved
While he was outside working on rock work, I was inside sculpting figurines like these guys you see on the table, although I didn't sculpt these. But I was working on Disney sculptures and models, architectural models, and the like. So he was out in the field doing really cool stuff, art directing, and I was doing cool stuff. Oh, I was doing cool stuff too, but I was doing it inside, so I didn't get rained on. Stuff like that.
Oh, so I got rained on.
I'm sure,
Well, yes, I did.
Yeah, in France, I'm sure you got rained on a lot.
Yeah, definitely rained on a lot. And stuck in mud.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the snow.
Yeah, nice.
Real exciting stuff. But anyways, we have lots of stories to share, but the reason why this channel is in existence right now is about virtual reality.
Yeah.
And VR, I think, is something that is something that everyone should have a chance to at least experience, because it's the only way to really appreciate the format and the platform that it is. I know Blaise is sort of new on VR. I introduced him to a few things, and he's like he's an addict already. He hasn't played a lot of stuff,
no,
which is good because I like having a newbie that we can introduce into some of the new worlds that we will explore. So our format is basically to look at virtual reality, the games that are out there, but look at it in a little bit different way and make these sort of like places for us to go and have a mission. Yeah. And the mission is basically have fun, but get freaked out, get scared, and
it's also an exploration for. Nick has been working with and helping develop and test, beta test the VR systems for Oculus and the like. And I, on the other hand, come from it from the outside. It's exploration. Literally, it's virtual exploration for me. But it's also because we're both in our 50s. We started playing video games back in the 70s. So it's we've watched the world of video games evolve, and so I have to admit I am some sort of an addict with the video game world. So,
but my experience with virtual reality goes back actually to about 1992. I came back from France, working at the Euro Disneyland Paris, and I got put onto the Disney VR in their VR lab to work on some early graphic and world implementation. So I was modeling props and characters and environments for early VR, which ended up going to Disney Quest, which is in Florida. Disney Quest was this sort of a arcade playground.
Ooh,
that you
cool.
could experience really cool video games and experiences that Disney put together and other companies that they brought in. But Disney Quest supported Aladdin's Magic Lamp Ride.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so that was what I worked on.
Yeah.
And ever since then, I've been waiting for this time period where we actually can experience virtual reality.
Yeah.
And I've been hooked on this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll show you something. Let's see. So here's the Oculus. This is the development kit 2, and I have the dev kit 1 that's up in a box right now. But I was one of the first Kickstarters, which was really, supporting on Kickstarter.
Yeah.
And I didn't really think it was going to take off like this, like it has,
Mm-hmm.
and it has taken off. It's just we're trying to get people to experience it more on a wide, broad appeal. But and it will as people start experiencing it, they see the awe behind it.
Right. Well, I can say. I mean, just myself and when our kids have come over and they got to try out the virtual reality, just watching them from the outside, we're laughing so hard because they're in another world. They are, we're all transported into another world, and a lot of stuff that we were doing back then was, you couldn't walk anywhere, you couldn't do anything, you could just look at your environment, and just standing there looking at your environment, that alone was like, wow, this is going to blow up big, this is going to be huge.
Yeah.
So that's great.
So what was it like when you first tried VR? You knew I was talking about it and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But what were you thinking that the experience would be like? Or did you have any assumptions or anything? What was your?
What was my? Well, I didn't have any expectations really. I mean, from the first time that I actually got to come over and try it out, you don't know anything until you see it, right? You don't know anything until you put the headset on, and you have the sound there, and and it's 5.1 surround sound, and you hear bugs flying around behind your head, and
it's more like binaural.
Oh, is it binaural?
Yeah.
Well, you can hear
but it sounds like that, right?
Yeah, it does. It sounds like you've got insects flying from behind and dinosaurs from behind, and it was mind blowing, and the graphics have gotten better, but also the screen quality, the headset screen quality has gotten much better too.
From the first SDK Kit 1, the first Oculus was, is like big screen door effects.
Yeah.
But
it was still impressive.
Yeah, the new systems out, the Prime systems that are out right now are actually very decent. They're not high res, but the experiences are really good.
Yeah.
And it's definitely worth it. I think the price is coming down now where it's affordable for people to get into.
Yeah.
Of course, when Oculus first came out, it was $600, I think, or $699. I don't remember exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's the HTC Vive, and we've got both systems here in the studio. But so now Oculus is down to $400,
mm-hmm.
and Vive is down to $600. I'm not sure. I think it's $599. Anyways. The PCs are the real limiting factor because it takes a really powerful PC or a graphics card in the most updated PCs.
Oh, yeah.
And so when they first came out, this was almost 2 years ago, about 18 months ago, to have a PC, it had to be a new PC that had probably like a $500 or $600 graphics card. Yeah. So you're talking about $2,500 to $2,000 on a PC level, and then you paid $600 or $800.
Right.
For your VR unit,
right?
And it doesn't put it in the hands of everybody,
right?
Unless you're enthusiasts, which is myself. I'm a techie. I love, that's what I do.
Right.
I'm a professional geek.
Yeah.
Hence Geekydom. But that's that. I make my living right now designing hardware and peripherals for the gaming platforms.
Yeah.
So that's what I do, and in fact, I hire Blaise all the time to do some sculptural work for me and stuff like that.
Right.
But so
yeah.
Okay, so now with the current VR devices, what is it? What do you enjoy about it right now? What brings you back that you want to jump into these games like we're about to?
Well, I mean, from what little I have seen, I think really it comes down to the fact that I'm going to want to, start exploring too.
I hit the wrong camera.
Yeah. So I already know what to expect to a certain extent, but it really comes down to putting the headsets on and going in and exploring. Now, you've told me about some of the newer stuff that's been out since I've seen, the latest stuff I've seen was, 6 months to a year ago.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on out there. You've told me about Mars exploration and stuff like that. Yeah. So I look forward to it, but I really can't say anything until I'm in there and checking it out. So
So like some of the missions that we're going to go into, I have to look at the right camera. It's that one
right there. You're number 3.
We have Mars exploration. We're going to explore a 40 square mile section of Mars.
Yeah.
We can kill zombies in Arizona.
All right.
Right?
Yeah.
We can go explore the space station.
Yeah.
We can basically fight wizards.
Wizards.
Yes. We can play in zero gravity arenas.
Okay.
We can fight pirates.
Okay.
There's hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of experiences and games out there that make it fun. And so, you're going to see the perspective, in our opinion, of, being an older generation into gaming.
Yeah.
I've been a gamer since the 80s, working on, the Tandy 1000s and, the Coco color computers, TRS color computers.
When we were roommates back in the 80s, he tried to talk me into going down to Radio Shack and buying a Tandy 1000. And I was like, I don't care about computers. And he's like, come on, man, you pay $10 a month, you'll build your credit, and you'll have a computer. And I was like, nah. It took him 16 years to get me to buy my first computer. I mean, literally, it took 16 years. Well, when he did finally talk me into it, I haven't gone back. I live on my computer, which my wife hates me for, but so
I ruined all of his relationships.
Yeah,
No.
That's right. So only from the geeky standpoint, but from everything else.
Well, we've been friends all this time. It hasn't ruined ours.
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah.
So what are these things in front of us here? You want to describe any of this?
Actually, I should ask you. I had my hand in part of the development of this right here.
Frankenweenie. Yeah.
But other than that, you have more stories involved with your sculpture over here on this side of the table, which relates to both of us going back to Ray Harryhausen and our love of stop action animation and special effects in general, right?
Yeah. There's double meaning. There's a couple of meanings here that are very relevant for me, especially with the Cyclops. Is back in the 70s when I first met my mentor. Mm-hmm. His name was Mike Jones.
Mike Jones. I remember Mike Jones.
Mike Jones sort of took me under his wing. I was about 15 years old, mm-hmm. and he studied stop motion animation, and he actually got to meet Ray Harryhausen.
Yeah.
And sort of mentor under him
mm-hmm.
for a very short period of time, and he Mike introduced me to the first to watch the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad movies.
Oh, really?
The Golden Voyage of Sinbad.
Yeah.
And of course, my favorite is Jason and the Argonauts.
Yes. Yeah.
So those movies kickstarted me in my imagination. On top with 2001: A Space Odyssey,
right? And
then of course Star Wars.
Right.
Star Wars came out,
right?
But Star Wars was more on a visual effects level,
right?
But on this level of creativity, doing models and stuff like that, it had to be like the Seventh Voyage of Sinbad,
right?
So Mike Jones passed away about 2 years ago, and this is one of the first sculptures I saw him make when I was a kid, and I'm very happy to have it. And of course, the one on my right is part of the Ray Harryhausen Collector's Edition. And I have the dragon and some of the other characters up on a shelf, but those have special meaning to me. But Frankenweenie was a product that we worked on, and I hired Blaise to do the initial sculpture. So he laid out the initial sculpture and to get the scale of it and stuff like that. and then it basically was converted digitally,
right?
And then we made modifications, and then
Right.
it got manufactured. So this particular one is a collector's item, but it was designed to charge up a cell phone.
Yeah.
For iPhones.
Right.
And it had a little graphic implementation on it, stuff like that,
Yeah.
that you could do.
That's cool.
It would view, and it had lightning sparks and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Very cool.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyways.
Yeah, so at some point we have to actually start showing people some of the VR stuff we're going to be doing, and we're going to get to that at some point.
So this whole thing is that we're doing is exploratory. We're experimenting with just doing this kind of setup. Normally in our lives we never had time to do this kind of stuff, or the budget or the capability, and so we got together, and basically this is a very low budget setup.
Yep.
It's all webcams.
Yep.
And I have 3 webcams that are tied into my PC, and so I have cameras that can be switched.
Yep. There we go. Hey, whoa!
Whoa!
Oh man!
I hope I didn't.
That was like lightning.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I'll turn around one of the cams to catch us playing VR, and then right now I'll edit together. In the future, we're planning on basically doing some streams, live streams. But we need to get followers.
Yeah, we need followers, and but we already have some guests lined up. So and it's kind of secret. So we'll
real famous guests.
Yeah, real famous guests. No, don't laugh. Don't laugh. You're giving it away.
Can you guess who we're talking about?
You have no idea.
I have no idea.
No idea who we're going to have in here. So anyway, we really appreciate you tuning in and hitting that like button. And,
so
what?
Yes.
Yeah. No. Go ahead.
No, you finish.
No, I was just saying. Hit the like button and share. And get the word out, because we're going to start streaming this stuff. And like we said, we're going to have some guests, and we're also going to we're going to have fun. We're going to show you what all the different stuff that we're testing. And we want to share that with you, because we want to get you into VR.
Yeah.
We want you to love the VR the way we love VR.
Yeah. And also as a creative studio,
yeah. I
mean, we're always working on stuff, so we'll share kind of some projects that we're doing.
Right.
I'm outfitted with 3D printers and all kinds of stuff, so there's things that we can make, but this is exploratory. We tend to want to share some of the knowledge that we've had that's built up in the past.
Yeah, we could share some of our artwork, projects that we're working on and stuff like that. But because that all ties in anyway. It's just the idea is that it's we want to share creativity of any kind, of anything that's creative. I mean, what do you have when you're in a virtual world? You have music too. So it's all the things that are involved. Writing, script. Has to be writing that's involved to what's the environment we're going to be walking into. Fighting zombies in Arizona, well, you have to have a script for that. So there's every aspect of it has some form of creativity. The model builders, 3D model builders, and 3D painters. People have to, the colorists and all that, and art directors and things. So, that's how I look at it. We're going to look at it from that perspective, and we, it's to inspire not just the kids that are out there, but it's inspire guys our age. It's there to inspire older people too. VR helps you get up off your chair and move around and keep your body moving.
I can't wait to get him into some of the sculpting software that's in VR.
Yeah, that's what I've heard.
There's Medium, and then there's I can't remember the other one. Yeah. Anyway, there's 2 that I know of, but Medium and another one, and I'll clarify that out somehow. But
I'm looking forward to trying it out.
Because Blaise is probably one of the best sculptors I know, if not the best sculptor I know.
Shucks.
Anyway, don't let him believe in that. But I want to see him in a digital world, because he's tried ZBrush and different things like that, but this one actually puts things in a world that's very familiar to what he's used to, which is full scale right in front of him.
Yeah.
And with a different set of tools.
Yeah. But
tools that let you manipulate without kind of getting messy about it.
Right.
Yeah. And you can make changes
I
really
won't be
fast.
breathing foam dust or getting water clay all over my body. Woo!
So we'll be experiencing that from his point of view, because I really want to see what he can do.
Yeah. That'll be exciting.
And it would be really cool to kind of just document that and we could be posting that. And then, so what's our adventure? What do you want to go into? Do you want to?
Oh, I'd rather be surprised. Actually, I want you to say, here, okay, today we're going to do blah blah blah, and this is what we're going to do.
Okay.
So
So what do we just end it there?
Okay.
And then the piece that's added to this will be the virtual reality world.
Okay.
That Blaise and Nick will be jumping into.
Okay, that sounds good to me.
Sound good?
Yeah.
All right, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. See you in virtual reality.
I'm in Tiltbrush right now.
And kind of just talk while you're playing around. So
yeah, I'm looking. You were talking about oil paint and stuff. I'm trying to find it in here. I'm trying to see. Here we go. Wait a minute. Oil paint. There's oil. I was never a big oil painter. Ink. Thick paint. Wire. I like wire. Marker. Tapered marker. Pinched marker. Highlighter. Flat. Tapered flat. Pinched flat. Soft highlighter. Let's go with oil. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens here. Let's see. So, I want to do some sky. But different brushes and stuff. Let's see. We have different kinds of brushes.
You can change the size of your brush by controlling the wheel. I think on that. Yeah.
Oh.
So that would make a large brush or small brush on your right hand.
Okay. On my right hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's your brush size on that. Those arrows there. So put your thumb on there.
All right. Oh, there it is.
Yeah, there you go.
Oh, there it is. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, I see. Okay, cool. All right, because I want to go wide. All right, let's see what we can do here, folks. Let's see what kind of oil painter I can be. In a 3D world.
Running into a little bit technical difficulties getting the right window, but I have any window.
Oh.
Just watch what you're doing.
Okay.
So for now, I will improve upon this, folks. I will improve.
Okay, so, all right. Well, you work on your improvements, and I will just try to entertain people here. Let's see. Interesting. Really is 3D. Look at this. See that? I don't know if you people can see that or not.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
Yeah, see that? There you go. So I'm stepping back with my canvas. So step back down here. Get a little bit of pink into that. Oops, that's too big. Right.
Blaise is wearing the HTC Vive.
Go. Now, folks,
This is the first time Blaise has picked up this particular software or tool, so he's learning it on the fly.
all right, let's come on. There we go.
Might need to speak a little bit louder so they can hear you. I don't know.
Okay. Oh yeah, I'm probably not talking very loud, am I?
Okay, I'm going to step out for a minute.
Okay.
I'll be back.
Okay. So here we are, painting in virtual reality oil paint. It's kind of a curved painting, isn't it? Because it's going with the curve of my arm as I paint here. Let's see. So we want a big ugly sea monster coming out of the water here. Let's see what we can do here.
By the way, feeding critters.
Oh, okay. Looks like a hand to me. So here we go. Now we can probably edit some of this out. Really small. Not a very mean looking creature. All right. Okay. And we want to put make yellow eyes on it. That's pretty funny. Is that the tiniest it goes? Gotta get this as tiny as I can. Let's see. Oops. That's really big. Nope, tiny, tiny, tiny. It's hard. It's hard to manipulate this thing. Come on. Need it smaller. Need it smaller. There we go. Is that tiny? Is that as tiny as it goes? Okay, here we go. Okay, it's interesting. Uh-oh, he's got a tooth coming out inside his mouth. Huh. Got some snaggly teeth. What about a tongue? Let's see. Let's see. Yeah. Something in the realm of purple, right? Yeah, I guess that's good. Let's see here. We want to make that really big. Oh, not that big. No, no. It's kind of hard to control the. There we go. A little smaller, please. A little smaller. A little smaller. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right. Here we go. There. There we go. It's not bad. Sea creature. And I guess I should sign it. There we go. My name. There we go. And that's what I did. Go Goggy. How do you pronounce your last name? I didn't spell that very well, did I? All right, people. Let's. Here we go. Let's see here. Yeah, we're back to. Yeah, okay. Here we go. Let's try it again. Oh, I see. There we go. Hard to see because I painted through my painting. See? It is 3D painting, that's for sure. You can look right into it. Pretty strange. Pretty darn strange. So there you go. That's my experience with virtual painting anyway. Let's see if I can find my eraser here. And we got that. I like the eraser. I mean, I could probably just erase the whole thing with a swipe. What's that? Something in virtual reality, I guess. Oh, are those leftover bubbles? I think they are. I think those are leftover bubbles. Oh, interesting. Let's see here. What else can we do? Environment? What's that? Night sky? Whoa, there you go. Night sky, everybody. Okay, and so we got a night sky. Let's rotate. Come on, rotate. Right? No, one more. There we go. Embers. Okay. Oh, wrong. There we go. Let's do embers. Embers. That. Okay. Let's see. Okay. We're having fun now. Look at that. I got a fire going. Beautiful. Okay, is there any wood around here? Let's see. Got any wood? Embers. What's this? Duct tape? No. Paper. Disco. We're going to have to do oil paint wood. We're going to do wood out of oil paint. We're going to pick a color. Brown. Like, oh, whoa. Right here, folks. Right here. Okay, we got brown. Not like wood. You don't see too many pieces of curved wood like that. Yeah, sure you do. There you go. Okay. There you go. Got a nice fire going here. Keep ourselves warm at night. See the night sky. There you go. We'll step back and take a look at this. Whoa. Yeah. Yeah. What do you say, Nick? Is that Nick?
Yeah, it's me.
Don't step in the fire. It sounds like you're right in front of me, man. There we go. So there you go, folks. There's things you can do in the virtual world. Pretty fun, man. I'm telling you. The possibilities are limitless. It's pretty cool.
All right, you want to step out? You want to give your assessment?
Yeah, I want to step out, definitely get this thing off my head for a little bit and get my head back into reality from virtual reality.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop the video.
Okay.
Oh.
Well,
So Blaise, what did you think of Tiltbrush?
well, I thought it was really cool. I apologize. I did not. I got so lost in my artwork that I, a little bit started forgetting about the fact that there's actually people watching. Was the whole point of the show. I mean, I did talk to you guys, but I was, exploring more and kind of into what I was doing in there. That's the cool thing about virtual reality, of course, is that you get lost in it. And so I promise that on the future, anything we're recording in the future, that I will, keep my mind on the fact that I am being observed while I'm observing this virtual reality, and I will talk to you and I'll describe to you how I feel and what I'm experiencing in there, because I had a great time. I just didn't explain it to you.
What are your impressions, though? Let's start out with that.
Yeah.
As an artist, what do you think was? Well, just start from the beginning.
Well, yeah, it's interesting. I mean, it's interesting working in a 3D space, to say that. I've never done it before, but the one thing I definitely be like, well, I would, at least at one point I was hoping that I'd be able to paint on an actual surface, so that I can keep the paint where I want it and everything, right? So there's that, but maybe there are programs like that out there. I don't know.
But this is one where you can paint in 3D.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, and I was. I was curving the painting I did around, and the fire that I created was really cool, and the sparkles, because you can, I was realizing, I can do this in a swirl. I can do it in that 3D space. So, that's just one of those things where you have to get in there and you have to keep playing with it and see what you can do with it.
Yeah. Now that was the first time you stepped into Tiltbrush.
Yeah, so, never been into Tiltbrush before.
How intuitive was it to try the tools and stuff?
It was actually fairly intuitive. I mean, it actually accidentally I was discovering that I could rotate the tools on one hand when I rolled my thumb around on the controller. When I wasn't doing that at first, because I didn't know where my hands were in virtual space, because on the real world controllers, even though my thumbs are there, I haven't played with them a lot, so my mind's not thinking about the fact that I can move these and explore the actual tools. So that started to happen anyway, naturally, and I could see that, and as you will all see in the video, I started learning how to rotate all the tools around so I could choose different brushes and choose different tools within that, within the parameters of that particular device. And the fact that I could enlarge and reduce the size of the brush that I was using. That was more difficult, though. I found that to be not super intuitive. It wasn't working really well. It was really hard to get it to exactly where I wanted it. But,
so do you feel like this is something that you could master relatively quickly, or do you feel like you need, as to normal paint programs that you would see on the PC, the 2D paint programs where you sit down, it might take you a few days to kind of learn some of the tools. Is this something that's more intuitive to you because of the virtual environment, or do you feel that that it would take longer? I'm just if you were to do it like a one-on-one.
It's a very simple program, so when I say it's very simplistic, it's designed to be intuitive, right? So I would say it's easier than, getting, for somebody who's never done any artwork in Photoshop, and you have this huge interface with Photoshop, and you have lots of choices, and so you have tools and then subtools. Where in here you just have your tools and they're right there, and you can rotate them around. It's very basic. You're not gonna create a Mona Lisa with this thing right now. Although with some of the talent out there, some of the kids that are out there in the world nowadays, of course, maybe they could pick this thing up and do more than what I could do. I mean, I was only in it for a few minutes.
Yeah, there was something I did not have you explore because I had to step out and feed my cats.
Cats.
They have to eat, But anyway, so it gave him time to kind of play with it. But there's a whole library in there of uploaded content of other artists.
Oh, really?
To check out.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you got it, and you can walk around their worlds, and they created these amazing 3D painted worlds.
Wow.
That are animated and colored.
Animated.
Yeah, and if you're talking about walking around Mona Lisa, it's like you forget about Mona Lisa. This is like vibrancy and animation, and you saw what you could do with the fire and stuff like that.
Right.
And but you were only in this thing for like what, 20 minutes?
Yeah, I didn't even dawn on me because of the world that coming from this world instantly into that world. I was just starting to explore that with the fire when I made the fire. Of course, I started with the what do you call it, the ash, the sparkles going up into the air, and then realized, I can put some flames because I found flames on there. So then I painted the flames. And then went, wait a minute, I need some wood, to some tinder and stuff down there. So then I painted that last. So I was hitting the floor with the controller, trying to put it on the ground. But I can see what an amazing 3D world you could create with a program like this.
So, is there any anything you would improve, or because you haven't you barely touched the surface of it.
Yeah, I mean
And I think you would have to spend more time before I would ask you a question. What would you improve about it?
Yeah, I couldn't tell you anything that I would improve with it because I would have to explore every single tool in there and see what I can do with it because I'm sure, given time, I could create some amazing virtual world as well. But so therefore, I can't really judge the tools or anything to improve because I'm a newbie, right? I'm a newbie. So
that's why we have you jumping into this because it's kind of fun to see how someone who is just entering the world of virtual reality or the virtual worlds and get your direct opinion, and see what you feel about it. So what is it, a thumbs up, thumbs down for this program?
Oh, no, it's thumbs up, absolutely. Really enjoyed it. And, would like to get into it more. I think the other thing, I don't know down the road how light headsets are going to get, but, they get kind of heavy. So I wasn't even in there that long, 20 minutes, maybe 15 minutes. And, I started to feel the weight of it and kind of the pressure on my head a little bit. But other than that, it's one of those things where, boy, you put that thing on, you don't want to come out of there. It's kind of a bit of a shock when you come out and you're, I'm in a studio in Burbank,
Well, I'm glad to tell you that some of the newer headsets that are being designed are reducing the weight. Yeah. So and also the distance from the eyes because of the new lenses that they're making, the optics allow you to have, so right now there's a certain amount of distance they have to be, and then that distance kind of allows you to focus out to about a meter or so.
Oh, okay.
So they're reducing that size, reducing the weight, and then also, improving the resolution. So there's all the, and the field of view.
Are they going to be counterweighting them? Because that's one thing I noticed is that would be, if it had counterweight on the back, that would kind of keep your head from being pulled down.
It might not be an issue once the new headsets come in. Yeah. But Oculus is already, they've just had their Oculus Connect 4, which is their huge conference. Right. And they have a wireless experience headset coming out to experience virtual worlds. What they weren't clear on is whether you could feed, whether it was something that you could use Steam or access on the PC, because it doesn't use a PC. It uses its own built-in computer. Okay. So, but it's lightweight and it has tracking, and you don't need any of the the lighthouses or anything to track. Oh, okay. So it's different technology, right? And we'll get it here, right? And of course, you'll get to play around in it.
Yeah, sounds like fun. I'm excited.
All right. So well, thank you, Blaise, for coming over today.
Yeah, it was my pleasure, man. I had a great time.
And we'll see you next time, I hope, right?
Yeah, I'll come back. I'm your
we'll probably
co-host,
we'll probably have some other guests that we can interview and give a bad time to. Try to give a bad time to.
Right, that's exactly right.
But we do have fun, and I plan on.
That's the whole point of this.
Yeah, doing more of these things. Right. And thank you for tuning in.
Yeah, we appreciate it.
Or finding us.
Yeah, like us.
Or however you got to us. I don't know.
Yeah. If you like the video and everything, like what we're talking about, if you think we're a couple funny old guys, share it with people, because how many people out there our age are going to be talking about VR and how we want everyone from age 0 all the way up to 220 or whatever. So
0. I mean, like when the baby gets born.
Yeah,
you just flop on
from virtual reality
glasses.
Yeah, from virtual reality to virtual reality.
So they won't be able to perceive what the real world coming right out of the womb.
Absolutely, man.
And we could just totally control their lives.
Right, exactly. What was it? Ed? I don't know.
Ed?
Ed TV or whatever.
Ed TV.
I don't remember. With Jim Carrey,
I don't.
Living in a dome.
Oh. The Truman Show.
The Truman Show. I don't remember. I'm thinking of the horse.
Ed, the talking horse.
Ed,
boy, that goes back.
Yeah, but I wasn't thinking about Ed the talking horse. I was thinking of Jim Carrey. But I'm terrible with movies anyway, so I'm terrible.
Oh wow.
But okay. Well, I guess that's it.
Okay.
I'm out of here.
All right, I'm gonna push the stop button.
Okay.